What's up and welcome to the Uncle Cyborg Show, where we talk about the biggest topics and our favorite things about video games while keeping it rated E for everyone. I'm Super Nolan Man, and joining me is the Hyrule King, Bull Mitchell.
Well, hello.
And we've got Matthew Hot Dog Eater, aka just Matthew Daniels.
Oh,
And today we are giving our Switch 2 Direct predictions. Now, as we're jumping into it here, we're coming off of a Nintendo Switch Direct. Now, I know
Yeah,
Bo and I
first one in a
watched
while.
that. Yeah, Matthew, did you end up catching that one?
I skipped around to stuff that looked interesting.
There you go. Honestly, not a bad way to do it with this presentation. It was an okay presentation. I think they could have reordered some things to maximize the impact and potential of it. But an overall
Maybe.
okay showing for this being essentially the swan song direct for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
It tracks. So,
Yeah.
before we give our predictions, let's talk about what showed up on Thursday. Now, we got to start with the heavy hitter, of course, being Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Bo, this is your
It
most
looks so
anticipated
good.
game for this year, right?
Yes, and it's on my fantasy critic. I'm so hyped for this one. This is definitely gonna be like the best looking Switch game ever.
100%.
It looks
100%.
and the box art. Oh, the box art is
The
spectacular.
box art goes hard. Yeah.
Right. Oh man, I can't wait for this game. And the powers look really fun. Like, man, this is gonna be a great game.
Yeah. As far as the graphics go, I get pristine. The textures are kind of flat, but
Yeah,
it's kind of to
but
be
that's probably
expected.
as good as they can do on Switch.
Exactly. For them to make the Nintendo
Yeah.
Magic work, the textures can't be overly detailed. So it's a little understandable that they're flat. But I mean, when you start getting these paint out shots of the jungle and even the water
Yeah.
sections, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fantastic looking. How are we feeling about these psychic powers and the potential that lies within?
I think it's really cool, and there could be some like really trippy things with like, yeah, some like mind bendy stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. How do you think that this scales with the rest of, well, for anyone who hasn't played a Metroid game, if you've played Metroid 1 through 5 or the Metroid Prime games, something happens to make you drop all your abilities at the beginning of the game, and then you got to pick them up throughout the rest of the game. So,
Hopefully not. hopefully, hopefully it's more normalized this time.
yeah, I can't name Grant, I didn't play Prime 2 and 3. I just played Prime and then the core, numbered Metroid games, 1 through 5. So, what are there any games where you don't lose your armor?
Uh,
I
Metroid
think
1.
technically, yeah. Well, so do you just not start out with armor?
You just start off with like a basic armor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember in Zero
Metroid
Mission
Prime
losing my
2,
armor.
you just start off with like your regular armor and you get better ones later.
Okay.
I think Metroid Prime 3, you get injured. It's more understandable because like you literally had like pieces of your armor clipped off. So yeah, maybe they'll do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. I like that
Maybe.
better than just like, oh, I smacked into a wall and all my powers went away.
Right.
Like in Metroid Prime 1. It's funny, but it's also like, no.
Yep. Yeah, I was wondering if they would like strip away the armor abilities but give us the psychic abilities right from the get-go, or if they were just going to stack on the psychic abilities as you go along, and maybe that have some interplay with your other abilities as you developed further. But we'll
Yeah,
have
I
to
could
wait
see
and
like
see.
she gets a psychic attack against her and then she develops it or something. Yeah, we'll have to
Right.
see.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one. Again, great looking
Yeah.
game. And with these Prime games, it's always very hard to tell. It looks so linear when you look at it. It looks like you're just going straight forward. I can't imagine having to go back and forth through those corridors, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. I'm sure they'll find some way to make it work so
There
that we're
will be
not wasting our time.
backtracking. There will be backtracking.
It wouldn't be Metroid without it. Matthew.
Two things I noticed. One, noticing lack of aliasing, which is pretty common when they're showing stuff. So that was nice, and it looked like it was 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
Also nice. Because it looked like it was captured footage, not
they
just...
might have been running it on Switch too, just for the trailer. Possible.
Because it didn't look quite like something that you would render.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm really hopeful. That I'll talk about that later.
Like,
but I'm
there
hopeful
are
they show
some
that.
Like when you go back and watch
select,
the Zelda stuff when they were doing that for the first Switch thing, it all looked like, not very good. And so this one, I'm thinking if they did the same thing they did for that stuff where they just took clips from in game, it looks really good.
Yeah. Now, there are some Switch games that run at 60 frames per second. It's not common, and it's not always consistent either. But technically, even on the GameCube, there were some games that ran at 60. So, well, this doesn't surprise me too much, especially with how Metroid 1 ran. But I mean, we'll see what it actually looks like in probably very soon here. We'll have to see how our predictions go. Now, I'm gonna move over to outside shout out to that suit. I love the black and red. I'm not digging the purple parts, but
I kind of dig the purple visor.
Really? Oh, I like the visor.
I like
that.
that.
I'm not a fan of the strips going throughout it, especially when it switches to the black and red. But it could grow on me. But I love that black and red suit.
Yeah, that looks pretty nice.
If the purple sections turned like a very fluorescent white at the end, that would really do it for me.
That's probably not the last suit. I'm sure there's another one.
Oh yeah, they can't show us the last suit in the trailer.
Yeah, no.
But it may be that's like the main suit for the game is the black and red. We'll see.
Yep.
Pokemon Legends Z through A got another trailer, and the highlight of this trailer was actually showing what happens in the dark. Now, Matthew, Pokemon Legends Z through A, your most anticipated game of the generation. I've heard you hype this up as if it is the news, as if it is the new Miyazaki game or something like that.
I only speak the truth.
Now, I expect that you watched this trailer, yes?
Yes.
What can you tell us, if anything?
First off, yes, you heard it right. It is the dark. First time since the last time that there was dark in Pokemon. What they do now, which I thought was kind of cool, and I would like the idea more, not in a single player game. Maybe if it was multiplayer. I like there's like this little, basically it's nighttime, and there's like these little mini battle royale tournaments where you have to rank up. The kind of stupid things, you have to go from rank Z to rank A. Now, depending on how long it takes to rank up in each thing, you have to do 26 battle royales and win them all.
So the battle royale is a very loose sense from what we got from the trailer. So it is not a tournament. It is just every time you battle, you are getting like prestige up, and you just got to prestige through the different ranks. It's not like you're booked into these tournaments or anything because you just wander around the area. Matthew, do you remember the first arc of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime on Duelist Island?
Yeah.
That's basically what you have going on here.
Battle Island,
exactly. Is you're losing points as you go along, and if you lose out of points, you drop out. Except I don't think you can drop out of this. But that's kind of what's going on there. Is you just the more wins you rack up, the higher up that tier you're going to go. I like that you can sneak up on other trainers
and attack them.
Yeah, you can attack them from behind. I love that being a thing, especially because
that's pretty funny.
Everybody is like this. Scarlet and Violet took out mandatory battles, like when trainers make eye contact with you and you're forced into the battle. That was removed in Scarlet and Violet, so that being re-implemented here would have rubbed some people the wrong way because I know a lot of people actually love that feature. I think this was an appropriate way to do it, where yes, that could still happen, but you can also get the jump on other people. And I do like
Yeah.
that. I think that's a nice little twist to
And the
that.
biggest feature is your moves can dodge other Pokemon's moves now. Like you can dig under if a Pokemon launches like a water gun, you can dig at the right time. You'll dig under it and then come out and
Yeah,
hit
they're
them.
working more at these real-time battles versus the old turn-based.
Yeah.
I hope it flows the
You
way
could do that
that
in
it
the
looked to
turn
show.
base with dig.
I guarantee you, it's going to take so long to figure out like how to do stuff. It's not going to be that clean ever. You'll
Yeah.
do it once,
Yeah,
and then you'll
true.
like screenshot, like you'll save it.
Mhm.
Unless they
Alright.
have like a tell for the attack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah. Matthew, any other reason that we should be hyped for Pokemon Legends?
Yeah, it'll be on the first game you should pick up on your Nintendo Switch 2. Don't buy any games until the end of 2025.
And rounding these off, interesting ones. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots and Patapon 1+2. Now, both of these originally Sony games. Everybody's Golf
Yeah.
Hot Shots doing a little bit of the Yakuza Like a Dragon thing where Hot Shots is what they called it here. Everybody's Golf was the name in Japan. And they've been doing a little bit back and forth. Finally, looks like settling on Everybody's Golf moving forward here. And yeah, Patapon 1+2. Now this redevelopment and publishing is happening from Bandai Namco.
Okay.
Which interesting on its own. So these aren't necessarily being published by Sony, but they are Sony original
Sony
games
IPs. Yeah.
that are and both of these games are already released on Sony platforms, and now they are making their debut on Switch. Also, several different PC outlets, including Steam, and Epic Game Store. Curiously, neither of these showing up on Xbox. Go figure.
Yeah. Not the first time because they did that Lego Horizon game. So
Yes, yeah, Lego Horizon, and
Yeah.
that did
they did
comparatively,
okay.
comparatively did quite well on Switch.
Mhm.
In terms of Switch versus PlayStation, that game just didn't do super well overall. So,
Yeah.
so with that, we're going to, now that we have that out of the way, we have a better idea of where we're starting from in terms of predictions. Now, it's entirely
Yeah.
possible that we get to the show on Wednesday and it is all about the hardware and they really do not focus on the games. I don't expect that to be the case after.
Me either at this point.
Exactly, because we don't know what the launch games are. We don't know what the opening slate looks like for Nintendo Switch 2, and this is kind of the last chance to do it. So this direct solidified that for me, that I fully expect us to see a fair amount of games. I don't think it'll be necessarily like, they do like a full games presentation. We really don't know what to expect out of this. It could be the typical direct style where they segment everything off in a very clean slate, or it could be that things are kind of mixed in here and there. But let's talk about our actual predictions. What we'll be doing is we will be doing 3 rounds of topics here, or excuse me, 3 rounds of predictions. And the way this is going to work is the first round. This is the lock. This is going to be the sure thing, no question about it. You are going to see this Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. The second round will be what I just called the real predictions. It's the non-guarantee, but something that like you actually believe
Something
is
that could
going to
happen,
show up.
realistically.
Exactly. Yes. Something that like not everybody is expecting. The thing that people are really here to see. And then third and final round, this is the get hype moments. This is the craziest thing that could actually happen. And every single one of these is going to be presented as our real predictions, but as we go along, again, that third round is, maybe we actually believe that. Maybe we're just trying to hype people up. We'll see. But I'd actually like to start us off on round 1 here. And we'll just do each round going through. But I'm going to mix up the order as we go around. So I'm going to start with myself. for our first Nintendo Switch 2 prediction. This is about the actual hardware itself. The Nintendo Switch 2 will release this summer for $399.99. Lock it in.
Yeah,
Take that to the bank. That is
I can see
100%
that.
how it's going to go down. So now, I will say that there's one stipulation with this, and it's probably not the thing you think it is. I think it's possible that this could go as low as $349.99. I don't expect that, but there's no chance it goes higher than $400. If you look
Yeah,
at
probably not.
Nintendo is going to want to sell multiple Switch 2s per household, one way or another.
Yeah.
And but if you look at the people who are talking about a potential $500 price point or something like that, the arguments are honestly, I'll be real, they're just bad. One is
They're
about
outrageous.
tariffs.
Yeah.
And if you understand tariffs, that doesn't make sense here. For short term or long term, because Nintendo is not going to want to lock in a $500 price point, which by the way would be too high to begin with.
Yeah, that'd be
but
huge. That'd be so big for that.
But
Yeah.
they also, you're also not going to lock in a price that like, okay, now you're going to have to walk back later, because Nintendo does not, modern era Nintendo does not like lowering prices. But
Yeah.
it's not even necessarily that they're against the price lowering. It's as much as they don't want to walk back. Whatever they show tomorrow on Wednesday, they want to say this is the value of it, and we're selling it to you at value. They are not going to come in and be like, sorry, because of tariffs, we're going to have to increase the prices for you guys in the West. Or not even in the West, in America. That's not happening. And then the other thing that I'm hearing a lot about is about the new hardware being more expensive. That because you've got better hardware, it's got to be more expensive. But remember, the Switch, when it came out, the hardware was already kind of old, and it was being sold at $300. This hardware that they're using, as far as reports go, sounds like this is a few years old, that they have been keeping this going for a while now. As hardware gets better, it also gets cheaper. That does not mean that better hardware is cheaper than older hardware, but it does mean that the cost to develop this newer hardware is not so extreme compared to the other ones. It'll be developed for a similar cost. I think you are going to see a little bit of an increase here. And that's why I personally am locking in that, including things like inflation that are happening globally. I'm locking in at $399.99.
All right. We'll definitely see that release date and price point. That's for sure. I think that's a pretty solid guess too. Like that sounds about right to me.
Yeah, how are we feeling about summer? Does anybody disagree on summer?
I think the latest we could see it is like September, but even then, summer sounds right.
Yeah, I think they want us playing Metroid Prime 4 this summer. Even aside from that, I think if Mario Kart 10 comes out this year, I think they want us playing that before fall. I think they want I think they want kids playing that before they go back to school. But if I had to go in very specific, I think the literal date this comes out is June 25th. It's a Thursday. Nintendo has been releasing on Thursdays lately. They're kind of moving away from the whole Fridays thing. And I think that they don't want to... Wait, let me make sure I've got that date right. Is that right? 25th?
I think this is going to be an August release myself. That's interesting though.
Scratch what I said before. June. I'm locking in June 26th. Because I don't think they'll want to put it on. I think the 12th is a little bit soon. And I think that Nintendo is going to just because they can, because they have the power to do it, I think they'll try to avoid putting it out on Juneteenth as well. So that's why I'm locking in the 26th.
Okay.
I think June. I'm all in on June.
Maybe July.
Officially,
July
I could see.
better.
I could see as late as a couple weeks into July, but I don't think this
Yeah.
thing sees. I don't think we don't see this thing before August or but there's no chance we don't have this by August.
Yeah. Depends on if they have problems getting it out or whatever.
Yeah, they
But at
said
this
that they
point,
intentionally held
sounds
on
like they're
to it
pretty
so that
set.
they would be able
Yeah.
to avoid issues with scalpers, but we'll see.
Yep.
All right.
It's pretty cool here.
Let's take it next now to Bo Mitchell, the Hyrule King. What is your round
All right.
1 Nintendo Switch 2 prediction?
Well, I'm kind of basing it off. I'm pretty sure, unless my memory serves wrong, we saw the UI and the home screen, the Switch One, in one of the presentations early on. I think we'll definitely see that, and they'll probably show off some new features that you can do. I have a feeling that they're gonna put a little bit more emphasis on that because that was one thing that people had a problem with on the Switch One. So the UI was just kind of whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a smaller prediction, but that's pretty
totally.
sure.
Yeah, but these are
Um,
locks. These are supposed to be the ones that are like absolutely. There's not a chance this doesn't show
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
So
And then I think they'll spend a lot of time, like probably too much time, on the mouse feature for the Joy-Cons.
yeah, I could see that happening.
Which is it's an interesting feature, but yeah, I'm really curious how that one will play out. Hopefully they have some like games specifically in mind that they're making for it because I want to see like what they can come up with. That'd be cool to see a Nintendo game with like a mouse functionality. That'd be cool.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the first half of your prediction there, where you
Oh, yeah,
said
yeah.
that they're going to make it a point to show off these new UI elements. Now,
Yep.
yes, which
I think
one?
we're getting
Famously
themes.
bland, but yeah,
That's
I
my
want to,
prediction.
I want to hear more about what UI elements you think will show up. So let's start with that themes.
Yeah. There are some really cool. If anybody knows about it, there are some really cool themes on the 3DS.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when the Switch happened, they had that section for themes, and then they didn't do anything with it. It was just white and black. And there was a
Yeah.
lot of people who were like, "Man, why'd you put that in there if there's nothing there?" um, I think themes would be really cool, and it would set it apart from the Switch One.
Mhm.
And with the better hardware, I think it could easily do it and not have any problems.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be really sweet. I also another thing I was thinking with the home screen was I think they could do folders.
You think they'll
Kind of
do
similar,
folders?
kind of similar to PlayStation. Yeah,
Yeah, so they technically have folders. They're just very weird. On
yeah,
Switch One, they're honestly
it's
they're
true.
just it's a bad version of folders. But you think we can get legit folders?
I think they'll improve them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I think they'll want to make it the fresh new thing with like a really clean UI, really sleek.
Yeah. So do you think that it's a
Yeah.
complete overhaul of the UI, or do you think like when we boot up the Switch 2, it's going to be pretty similar to what we have on the Switch 1?
think-
Pops
I
up
think
with
it'll
all
be
of our icons of the slide across.
similar but better, like improved.
Okay.
Yeah. They
All
might
right.
keep the main icon, like the game card images the same because I think those are fine. And then they'll just make some improvements from there, like themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I hope themes are a thing. I want
I
themes
love
to be back so
themes.
bad.
That's one thing I dislike about PS5 actually is that there's no themes.
Right.
And then they took
Yep.
away the ones that they did make,
Mm-hmm.
which is lame.
I'm
Like,
with you.
yeah.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then the mouse elements because
Yeah.
again technically unconfirmed, but I mean
It's
it's
basically
pretty
confirmed.
heavy-handed. Now do
I
you
would
think
love,
this
man. Can you imagine like this is minor, but like a Mario Maker game where you can use like the
Yes,
mouse
my
would be
word.
so nice.
I almost put this on my predictions.
They could also this is obscure, but like what if they made a new Mario Paint?
Yes,
That would
that's
be
what
cool.
I've been saying since we
That'd be
did the
wild.
reaction video back in January
Yeah.
was that's where I think this eventually goes. I think they pull that out of the hat, and the people like us are gonna go wild for it, and all the kids
I
are gonna be like,
love
okay,
I love the music from Mario Paint, so that would be really hype for
banger
me.
tracks.
It's super
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Do you think we see with the unless if this is related to anybody's predictions, you can stop it here. But do you
Okay.
think that we see a game on Wednesday that heavily features that mouse mechanic? Something like a Mario Maker?
That's where it's hard because it's I don't know if that's like unless the game is like absolutely incredible. I don't know if that would be like a major like boom, here's the new Switch 2 thing.
I think whatever the 1-2 Switch equivalent is, like the tech demo
Yeah.
game, they'll have some mini game where you like have a vacuum or something, and you gotta like slide your mouse and like vacuum it up or something.
That's exactly it.
It's gonna be they're gonna have it, and then they're just not gonna use it. It's gonna like it'll be more third party, I think.
I do think it'll be a lot of games like Civilization
Yeah.
that use it.
Yeah.
But I mean that's still cool too.
Yeah.
Hey, Matthew, I hope your tech demo is a new Wario game. I don't think it will be because they just put one out, but it should be. Now, Matthew, let's hop over to you for your prediction. But as you do, could you lower your volume just a tiny bit?
Can you lower me on Discord, because on my microphone on the recording it's
Yeah, it sounds okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then
Then
just
I'm
right
going
click me,
to,
and then it should have an option
yeah,
for my volume.
that works. I'll just do it that way. I've already got you pretty low, is why I was
Sorry.
just, but I'm sure you've already done stuff on your end. So okay, all good. Take it away.
Let's see here. Mine, I don't really have a surefire stuff. The only surefire thing is that they're going to announce some booty games that nobody's going to want, and then it'll be like, oh, why are you having this come out with it? So they're going to have like
No.
the Metroid Prime or the Mario Kart or whatever, and then they'll have like the underlings, the games nobody wants, like nobody's going to buy, but
Give
they'll
an
buy 'cause it's the other
example.
stuff. Like whenever the tech demo
1-2
game they're going to
Switch.
have out is, yeah,
Oh,
1-2
sure.
Switch 2. There you go. 1-2 Switch 2. No, I think they're gonna focus
like
on the, how everybody was saying that you're just gonna break them off. So I think they'll showcase like how that you won't like damage your Joy-Cons by like kids.
Oh, they'll for sure have like a safety thing like
They're
they
like,
did
all right, this is how the
before.
flap works,
Yeah.
and it'll be 5 minutes talking about the flap, and then 5 minutes talking about the things.
Mhm.
I do think my surefire is that they're going to end with some kind of big, like some kind of just like splash screen right before the end. So like I think they're going to announce some,
You mean have a game?
yeah, of something, or some, maybe not even a game. They'll have some like last like bloop, and then they won't acknowledge it. They'll just end.
That's one thing I almost said
Okay,
as my surefire
so-
was that
So
like,
Matthew,
for
you're
sure have
saying
one game there.
I don't know what
so
it would
you're
be.
saying
but they'll
that
have some.
you're saying that their one more thing is not going to be a trailer. You think it's just going to be a splash screen?
Yeah, like they'll just kind of like put something up, or something will fade into something. It could, I don't want to lock into specifically because then I'd be wrong. But they're going to have like they're going to put something up and not acknowledge it in the presentation, and then
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I almost said that they'll have like one game that they show and like they're like showing off features with the game, like Mario Kart. That one almost feels for sure, but they could pull something funny there.
yeah.
So,
All right. Well, it's time to move on to round two of our predictions here. And again, these are what I refer to as the real predictions. These are things that are not locks. They are some things that you can disagree with us on, but we genuinely believe are going to show up there. And I'm going to go last on this one. So let's start this time with the Hyrule King. Bo Mitchell, tell us what you think is showing up on Wednesday.
Well, I think they're going to show off kind of what has been in the leaks a little bit, where you're taking Switch games and running them better on the Switch 2.
Okay.
So I think for sure they'll pull out Breath of the Wild because that was the one that people were like talking about in the sneak peek thing. They'll probably have Metroid Prime 4 there because I mean I'm like almost certain it's releasing day one Switch. Like yeah, multi release kind of deal. I think we see Mario Kart. I think that's basically like the easy pick. But the other ones that I have is like
So we'll do rapid fire at the end of our extra stuff here. Do you want to lock in like a prediction for this round? Like
sorry,
what is
maybe I'm doing
what's
too
your?
much.
That's all good. We'll do rapid fire at the end. But what is
Okay.
what is like your main prediction for this round?
I think the up-res games. Because that's gonna be a big feature. And I think, yeah, like it shows off what the Switch can do, and it's something like cool that, grabs people's attention and it's a game, you know.
All right, all right.
I
I
think
will
that's pretty
say
certain.
that I had this one. I have multiple for round two in case
Yeah, I
that
have a
someone
lot.
took one of them, and this was one of them that I put down. I'll just let you
Yeah.
know what I'd put down word for word was Breath of the Wild will be shown running in HDR at 60 FPS,
Yeah.
and a designated Switch 2 version will be playable at launch. Also, no Tears of the
Yeah.
Kingdom. I think that's going to be the weird thing. And that's not me wanting it to be that way. That is, I mean, Tears of the
How it's gonna
Kingdom.
probably go. Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to do it just because Nintendo was weird about stuff like that. Nintendo never does things the right way. They always do things really close to right, and then they do something really weird. I think that's going to be the thing. I think that Breath of the Wild is going to have this better version, but not Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not like at launch,
Tears
but I
of the
think it'll
Kingdom will
eventually
come.
get it.
Yeah, yeah. Tears of the Kingdom is definitely coming eventually. It will 100%
Yeah.
happen. I just don't think it's available at launch with Breath of the
At
Wild.
launch. Yeah. Yeah, they might trickle them out.
Exactly, which is there's no reason for them to do it this way, especially if it is as simple as flipping a switch, but it is yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're going to do some funny with that trickling out like you said.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Out of curiosity, any other games you think are going to have a like a Switch 2 version available at launch?
Oh, lots of them. I think the easy ones are like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, um, Splatoon 3, uh, probably Mario Odyssey. I feel like that would be a pretty easy one too. Um, yeah, maybe like the newest Mario Party, but that one's maybe a shot in the dark. I don't know if it's really.
Yeah. I'm curious how this upresing or whatever these Switch 2 versions are going to go. I think for
Yeah,
the
I'm
I
really
think for
curious about it too.
most I think for the vast majority of Switch games, it's just going to be yeah, things load in better. They just run better just by virtue of better hardware. I feel like very few games are actually going to get a designated Switch 2 version. I think it is going to be
Yeah.
things like your Breath of the Wild. It's going to be things like like your better, like your heavy hitter Mario's, things like that, like you're saying.
Mm.
All right. Again, we're gonna come to rapid fire at the end, but Matthew,
Yeah.
what is your quote unquote real prediction?
Probably main one is like I think they'll probably do performance modes. Like on consoles when you play like console games now they have like a prioritize frame rate or prioritize
Oh yeah.
fidelity or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that could be something they could do. Because then they don't have to stick to the if they want they don't have to stick to the 60 frames. Because then they can get around it that way. By still being able to say stuff is. And then I also think I'm gonna say whatever because didn't they have like a deal with Nvidia or something like that?
Nvidia is doing their chipset for the Switch 2. Yes.
My second prediction is that's not going to amount to much. I think people overhyped it at first. Because remember, everybody was saying like, "Oh, you're going to have like AI upscaling and stuff or whatever."
Oh,
that's what That's what was in the original. I don't know if you want to call it leak.
Yeah, that was
It
in
was
the
in.
original league.
It was their behind closed doors demo from GDC a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Which I mean, some time has passed since then. It could
Yeah.
be like that was the plan originally. That was in their old build, but they're like, nope, we need to get these prices down, so we're not going to go that route. Or maybe it just wasn't working like they wanted to. We'll see.
Was it really count as a prediction if
Um,
you're saying something's not going to be there?
no, I think that's a prediction.
I'd say that's a prediction.
Yeah.
That, and
Yeah.
I think we're definitely.
So,
I think they're going to explain how the.
what's your main prediction for this round?
My main prediction
It's
is
so easy to do.
the
I
priority
know.
is having the. You know what? I think I'll switch. I think my main prediction will be they're going to talk about their new network, because if they actually are doing 24-person Mario
yeah.
Kart,
That'd be cool.
they're not going to be able to do it on their current stuff. So I think they're going to talk about that. That's be the main thing I think they'll talk about. Second, I think they'll talk about the game setting to prioritize frame or whatever.
Okay. So now I'll be perhaps antagonistic. I actually don't think either of those are happening. I'll say why for me. I
Okay.
don't see Nintendo. Nintendo is very
They don't like to
Nintendo is
address
very
problems directly unless it's really bad.
well, yes. They I don't think they want to admit that the online has been really bad. I don't think
Yeah, because that
they
means
want to
people will
say
stop
that.
paying for it.
Yeah. So I don't think they want to say that we fixed it or we improved it.
Mhm.
They might have some very, Nintendo speak for saying that or implying that it's going to be better without actually admitting that they did something wrong. But
Yeah.
on the other side, Nintendo is very big about curated experiences for their games. And I don't think any first party Nintendo games are going to have the option of playing in performance mode or playing in uh uh fidelity mode. What do they call it?
It's usually
Performance
prioritize
mode is
frame
like
rate
your
or
60
prioritize
FPS.
resolution.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that.
I don't think they're going to have the option there. Granted, I don't think the reason a lot of games are doing that is so that you can play them in 4K. I'm
Yeah,
not
and a lot of
convinced.
games don't run very well when you switch them to 4K.
Yeah, I'm not
So
entirely convinced that the Switch will even do 4K. It's definitely not going to do it
it might
natively.
not.
It is
900p.
just a question
Lock
of
it
if
in.
they do this upscale. But I think what is a lock is HDR. I don't even think you can get
Probably.
Nvidia chips now with an Nvidia chipset without being able to do HDR. I think if Nintendo was like, "Hey, do we really have to run this in 1080p?" They're going to be like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't make anything that can't do that now." Oh, shucks.
Yep, they're locked
But
into HD now.
I don't know. But what do you think of these?
Yeah, I could maybe see them try, like maybe they tried it in like the performance mode thing
Mhm.
and not they probably didn't go with it. I'd be very surprised if they went with it. Um yeah, I don't know. I just don't see them doing something like that. And what I could maybe see them doing with the online thing is maybe yeah, kind of in like a roundabout way saying like, "Hey, we like invested a lot of money in more servers." You know, which isn't
Hmm.
admitting that they had a problem, but like being like, "Oh yeah, we're like improving." You know, it's more positive versus versus being like, we had a problem last time and we're fixing it now." Because that's just how Nintendo does a lot of stuff. So
You might have noticed that when you played Mario Kart on your Nintendo Switch online, that you were about 20 seconds behind. Well, now we've decreased that, so you will only be 12 seconds behind, or some really silly like that. No, yeah, I think that there's no mention of it, but it's always a possibility there.
yeah, they'll do it in a roundabout way if they do
Yeah,
mention it.
And we'll come
Um,
to. Oh, you were gonna say.
Oh no, I
Uh,
I changed my mind.
Okay. We're going to come back to our rapid fires at the end, but my round two, since nobody else mentioned this one, I'll be the one to do it. I'll be the one to put my neck on the line. I'll be the one to incur the wrath of the clown media and all my fellow clowns waiting at the bus stop. We see
Oh my
the
word.
Silk Song trailer and release date. 100% lock it in. You are going to see the Silk Song trailer. It's finally happening. Cake Gate is real. We see the Silk Song trailer and release date. No shadow drop, like a lot of people think is going to happen after not hearing anything for a long time. That's not going to happen. But 100%, we see
Buddy.
a trailer and release date on Wednesday. We will not.
Buddy, the chance to see that was the last direct.
Yeah, there's. Oh, you
Sorry
think
to burst your bubble.
Oh, I disagree because the Cake Gate was always about April 2nd.
I'd be
I-
so surprised.
I think
that
this
would be
is the
a
thing that
first for
everybody
them
has.
to show something third party in like
Skyrim.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because you could play it on a plane or in the car or on the bus.
That was just in the commercial though, right?
Nope. They made a
Was
deal
that in the
about
presentation?
Skyrim. Well, they usually have quite a bit of third party at their opening presentations because you're only going to have one first party game
Maybe
at
I'm
launch.
misremembering.
Because they talked about
This would be the
their-
first time they did an indie game. And so far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong there.
that could be depending on how you count Snipper Clips because Snipper Clips is
I mean, that was
it's technically
in-house.
Nintendo published. It
Yeah.
wasn't in house, but it was Nintendo published. So
yeah, like but yeah,
So,
in-house like
yeah.
under their umbrella. What I mean.
yeah, like it's indie in the same way that Hazelight games are indie. Like it's a small studio doing it. Well, I mean Hazelight is now pretty big, but or like well, anyways, so
Yeah.
not indie like they're having to do it on their own, but it's a small team of 20 people working on that game who aren't Nintendo people, but still published by Nintendo. So this
What I
game
would
is definitely not
say-
being published by Nintendo, but I think
What
100%
I would
we
say-
see it.
To go along with your prediction,
Mhm.
I think we'll have an indie showcase like really soon. And I was already expecting this already.
Mhm.
I think we'll have an indie showcase like really soon after this direct, and it'll be at that showcase.
My thing with that is I think that Silksong has reached this enigma status that just pushes it above and beyond the indie game sphere. Even though it's technically an
Yeah,
independent
that's true.
game, I think it's ballooned so much because if we look at the last several indie showcases, even like even other big indie games don't show up at indie showcases anymore because they really are designated
true.
for the your
The really small ones.
exactly or things that are
Yeah.
like there's 30 of this game coming out all under a bunch of different names from different people. All right,
All right.
Matthew, we are here in round 3, wrapping it up with our get hype moments. So Matthew, what should we be getting hype for here at the Nintendo Direct on Wednesday?
Changing my get hype. Theo ruined my hype. Now I have a new
I didn't
hype.
hear your original one.
Now I have a new hype.
If you want to go with that one, but I didn't hear
My
your
new
original.
hype is they're
Okay.
going to announce that they're going to have on the Switch 2, they're going to have the GameCube and Wii on the Virtual Console.
That
GameCube
would be
and
awesome.
Wii.
Here's why. They'll be like, all right, thanks to the new power of the Switch 2, we can now let you play. Or I don't know how they'll say it, but it'll be like, or maybe GameCube or Wii, one of the two. They'll
Yeah, they
have a
can say
new,
something like
they'll
that.
put a new something on there.
Yeah, they could do both.
Now, how soon do you think this comes?
I just think they announce it, but probably, I don't know. How long does Nintendo usually wait to announce stuff? Or
Well, that's a good point. If they say that that's coming, I would expect it to roll out within a month.
First year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they usually hold off until they're actually unrolling it to announce something with online.
I bet they'll
Yep.
announce that. That's the hype.
I would
So they could
love
say-
GameCube.
Because that'll get
That would be
people more
so
hype than I think
amazing.
any game they could announce. Just because like people have
That's
been
true, yeah.
wanting GameCube on the Virtual Console since like the Wii U, basically. So
100%. So for individuals, base NSO is $20. And is it $40 a year for the expansion version or whatever? Or
Yeah.
is it 50? It's 40? Okay. So, I mean, honestly, if they're going to add GameCube games and they're just on there to stay in addition to everything else that's there, I mean, that to me makes that $60 annual kind of worth it. I would probably
Right.
Don't
cave
forget
at
the
that
app.
point.
Bad.
Yeah,
the music app.
the music app.
The app would be
But that's
cool,
playable. It's just based Nintendo Switch
I
Online.
just think it's
You
funny.
just have to
They-
have
I
an
just think it's
NSO
funny they
account.
locked that to a description.
Yeah,
Man, at least they have an option for their music now.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So Matthew says GameCube, lock it in on VC day one. I guess not Virtual Console anymore, but you know what I mean. Nintendo Switch
Yeah,
Online.
yeah.
Okay. I would love that so much.
And then my
That
second
would
one
be-
was
That would be amazing.
for my
I'd love that.
my fade to black moment. They're gonna fade, and it's gonna on the text be like "Rise tarnished," and then this is gonna end. But I don't know if Nintendo would end a direct with something that's not theirs.
Exactly.
probably
I don't think that
wouldn't.
they would. Well, unless it was like again a major partnership or something like that, because I think they've even.
I think Elden
they
Ring might be
ended
the
once
biggest
on
third party they
Starlink.
could do at this point, unless they announce like, "Oh, we're having like GTA 6 on the cloud or something." I don't know.
It would probably be GTA 5.
Probably.
Honestly,
You think it's gonna be able to do it?
They'll announce GTA 5 is
Yeah.
going to be playable on the Switch too. Now I fully expect Elden Ring to be this generation's Skyrim in terms of like, hey, here's your big
You can play
open
it
world
anywhere,
RPG.
But there's one issue.
Playable on the
Elden Ring
new
has
Nintendo
the
console.
graphics to do prioritize frame rate or resolutions.
Oh, so again, I said Nintendo first party games are not going to do that.
No.
Yeah, Nintendo first party games will not do that. They will not give you.
I think
the
it, yeah, I
option.
think it'll be possible.
They will
to
do
it.
whatever they want to do for that game. But yeah, 100%. Other developers will. I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll do it. I'm sure we'll see third party games with that. Okay, well, I'm gonna go next here, and I'll let Bo finish us off. But my get hype moment is, and this I think is going to be the closer of the show.
Don't do it.
He's doing it.
Don't do it.
We will see. And you can bet the house on this. Whoever is watching this right now, I want you to go to the bank, go grab the deed to your house, go to Vegas, set it
Oh,
on the
Steel's
table.
Thunder.
We're putting all in. We
I'll be
will
nice and let him
see
have his turn.
a new 3D platformer featuring Donkey Kong.
Okay. We're good.
Featuring Donkey Kong. It will likely be a 3D Mario. It will likely be a 3D Mario game featuring Donkey Kong, but we're going to see Donkey Kong. We could be getting just an actual Donkey Kong game, this 3D game. We know that
Yeah, it's been a while.
the Mario team was working on a Donkey Kong or working on something involving
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. This has been years now. Why did we never see it? Where is it? It's
know
not
what'd be
unlike
sick?
Nintendo to throw something away, but from their prestige team, that
Yeah.
is they are the most Nintendo of Nintendo teams working on these 3D Marios. And you're telling me they were working on Donkey Kong? We never heard a peep about it from them directly.
What if it's a team up game where it's Mario and Donkey Kong?
See, that's what I
3D
want it to
platformer.
be.
That would
That
be
is
cool.
that's what I want it to be, and I'm
That
not
would
the
be
only
cool.
person who's been expecting this game. You can look it up. There's been murmurings for a couple years now about this being a thing. I think that this is where it actually happens. I think we can confirm. But I'm going to go in on Donkey Kong because I could see that this project actually just turned into Donkey Kong instead of being Mario and Donkey Kong. Because
Yeah, probably.
I
did
think
just
about the
go like
3D
Donkey Kong.
Mario games, and I find it difficult to throw in Donkey Kong in there, who is a totally different play style and everything. It's
Yeah,
not
true.
like adding in Luigi. All right, now wrapping up this final round of predictions. The Hyrule King, Bo Mitchell, give us your get hype moment of the Nintendo Direct
boy.
this Wednesday.
So this is super out there. There's no I really want this to happen. It's not going to happen. But what I think would be really cool. I have to go with my namesake. It would be so cool if they showed straight up like new features of the console with the new Legend of Zelda game. There's no way they're doing it.
Oh, are you talking about the new like are you talking about like the follow up to Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, like the new Zelda game.
Wow.
They won't do it. But like an actual like legit like could happen, not likely but could happen
Mhm.
is like a cinematic trailer. Like if they
What
were like,
if
here's some games that are coming up for the Switch too, and then like cinematic. There's no way though. It's such a like shot in the there's no way.
hear me out? Somebody earlier this year drafted an unannounced Ocarina of Time remake.
I was gonna mention that, yeah. That could be cool.
Is that
I
mean you're a
don't-
believer now?
Last I checked, this wasn't the not going to happen section.
I'm not a
Alright,
believer, but that
alright.
would be cool. And it would definitely be like a, here's how far we've come moment if they did do that.
Sure.
But
Wouldn't that be something?
I don't think
Man.
it's happening right now. I think it could happen within the Switch 2's lifetime, but I don't think that they'd do it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I think you were spot on the money earlier with them showing. I think they'll show maybe even a potential side by side of Breath of the Wild running the new hardware.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of
the
the Wild, no
crazy
visual
out there
differences. But I
hype
mean that
prediction.
would get me so hype.
That
Like
would
I
be
mean,
so
how long
cool.
had it been after Breath of the Wild that we got that
It wasn't long.
the
Yeah.
sequel to Breath of the Wild is now in development? Like
Yeah,
I want to say that was only
The day
like
it
was
came
like
out.
18
2
months.
was it?
When did we get that? It was at an E3 presentation. That was E3 2019. So that was a little over 2 years after, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're definitely or something if they want to go with that route. There are some people saying that it was a mistake to do it that early. So maybe they
Oh,
wouldn't
to
do
show it
again.
off. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
to
mean
show it
they
off so
were
early.
intending to stay in the same engine and everything. I'm sure they thought it was going to go faster. Well, the game was done in 2022, and
Yeah.
they took an extra year just to polish it off. I think if the game had actually come out in 2022, we wouldn't have thought anything of it. We would have been like, yeah, a few years. That's a while, but we wouldn't have thought anything crazy of it.
Mhm.
But that, man, I would love to see
That'd
a
be so
teaser
cool.
for the new Zelda, even if it's just as simple as what they showed for the. Do you
for the
remember
Wii U.
the Wii U teaser?
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
Would it be crazy if they just
If they brought
showed
it back,
that
they're like,
it's that
here's
exact
that fully
trailer?
realized.
But yes, but
Oh
it's
man, I loved that trailer. I was so hyped when I saw that trailer. There's no way they do it because it's like Twilight Princess style almost, but that would be sick. I'd love that.
but I mean,
Like such a
with the
cool
way
art
that
style.
depict Link outside of the Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild kind of stuff, I feel like they've kept to that style of Link. Like
Oh yeah,
I feel like
it's true.
the art style that they went with in Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild is in part due to hardware limitations. I
Yeah, it's
think
true.
that if they had all the processing power to work with, I think that they would want to do it similar to what that Wii U trailer looked like.
Yeah.
Again, not saying that it happens, but that would be the thing that just if there was anything in the show that would possibly just absolutely blow me away, it would be
That would
that.
be
It
nuts.
would be seeing something Zelda related, but especially if it was like a redo of that Wii U trailer.
That
But
would
all
be
right,
so cool.
let's go ahead and hit some rapid fire. These could or could not happen. In fact, I think the way we do this is we do rapid fire. We just say what it is, little to no explanation, and just the other people say could happen or won't happen. Does that sound
All
good?
right.
All
Yeah,
right, I'm gonna go with mine first. Okay. GTA 5.
with could happen.
Probably not.
I'd say so.
All right. GTA 6.
Definitely not.
Unless they do some kind of cloud thing. No.
Oh, I think GTA 6 will potentially run on Switch too. My
Yeah, it
thing
might
is
load the
I just
menu.
don't think Rockstar would show it here. Rockstar wouldn't ever
Yeah, they wouldn't.
show
They
it as
wouldn't
that's
show
not
it
their own
here.
thing.
That's true.
They do
Yeah.
their own thing. But on a non-joking note, Matthew already did Elden Ring earlier, so we don't need to worry about that. Sakurai was being a little bit cheeky about sharing the original announcement for the Switch 2 reveal that's coming up this April. He's being kind of cheeky in the way he shared it with his little eye emojis and his little dots in response to people's things. And then he shared the most recent one, and then immediately after posting in the comments sections, he says, "Perhaps I should be more wise in what things I choose to share." But I feel like that's somebody getting onto him like, "Hey, don't give anything away."
Yeah,
So
probably a little bit.
Smash Bros. Not even do we see a
That
full
would be
trailer,
cool.
but do we get like we did with the Wii U and like we did with the Wii, where during the first presentation of that, they both announced that a new Smash Bros. Is in development. "2018 was the last time we got a Smash Bros, and that Smash Bros was the same engine that they did for the Wii U one."
I think the
Or-
only way we're seeing Smash Brothers now is if it's with some actual footage of it, like cinematic or otherwise. I don't know if they would do that.
but dude, does it show up here in any form? Does Smash Bros show up
could.
in any form? Matthew, what do you think?
Maybe
Could,
they might do
could
like
happen or absolutely not?
that could be one of the ones they might do a updated version for, but I don't know. I don't know if they would want to how they would do that with the play if they would want to have a separate version that people are playing. Like that would mess with their because like people play that competitively and whatnot.
Sure. All right. Here's my final one. Mario Kart X / Mario Kart 10 does not come out this year. Will happen or will not happen, or it could happen or absolutely not.
It's coming out this
Yeah.
year. I think that's almost guaranteed.
Because they don't like to say anything and then not put it. Didn't you just say they don't like to show stuff and not put it out?
No, they do like to do that. They do
No,
that.
you said they
pretty
gotta do
frequently.
it within a month.
Every once in a while they will, but not very often.
I feel like that was like a hey,
do you-
this game's coming, bro. So go put it on your.
Oh,
go
you mean
tell-
because
tell
they?
your-
I see what you're saying.
go
You're
tell
saying
Graham
because
Graham
they
to put it on
showed
the
in
Christmas
the
list.
original Switch 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the fact that
I don't
showed
feel
it
like
on
that's a
gameplay
game you'd
of
be
it is
sitting
like-
on. Like, oh, Mario Kart's coming.
Yeah, you wouldn't sit on that. That's true.
It'd be like if they showed like Mario
Alright.
or something.
Sure. Alrighty. Let's go with Matthew.
All right. First off,
Rapid fire.
Fallout 76.
Not happening. Next
No.
question.
All right, Bo, you're up.
That was it.
Yep.
You were talking earlier like you had a bunch of other things you wanted to share.
Nope.
What are you doing?
Okay. All right, we'll toss it over to Bo.
All right, Fallout 4.
Who?
Why did you say that? That is way more likely.
Fallout 76 is newer.
Yeah, but nobody likes that one.
Well, people like it now.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But I think Fallout 4 is way more likely.
I'm more likely to do Fallout New Vegas. That might be able to handle it better. Fallout New
Oh
Vegas
my gosh.
remastered.
Anyway, likely, unlikely.
Not happening.
It's happening. They're going to bring one of them to it
How do you say
eventually.
it's happening? Let me. I see your Fallout 4 and I raise you a Starfield.
Nobody's going to buy that.
Yeah, it's reviewed worse.
Yo, check
and
out
it
this
isn't
game,
on
dude.
PS5 yet either. I mean, I want to play it. I do, because like I actually want to try it out for myself. But I would maybe wait to see like if it came out on PS5. Or I
It's
would
the
I don't
Daggerfall
think
of
either are
the
happening.
space games.
Not right now.
Okay.
At least not
Uh,
at launch.
Oh wait,
I
these are
just
for
think that
launch
Bethesda's
games.
moved past Fallout.
Yeah, maybe not for
Sorry. This is do we see it? Do we
Oh.
see it on Wednesday?
Why don't you say so?
This has all been about the direct, Matthew. These are direct predictions, not Switch 2 predictions.
Oh, whoops.
The only reason I even bothered to say Fallout 4 was because of Skyrim.
Sure.
That was the
Totally.
only reason. Okay. Another one. Splatoon 4. I think that is more likely.
They're putting them out at such a clip.
They do it fast.
But I
don't
don't
know
think-
how they make them so fast.
Copy.
I don't
paste.
think it
crazy.
happens at this one. I don't think it happens at this one. I think there's a great chance we see it this year, and it comes out
Yeah, probably.
next year.
Yeah.
But I don't think we see it at this first one.
New Star
Yes,
Fox.
Matthew.
No.
Man, I want a new Star Fox game,
We-
but no, probably not right
Wow.
If a new Star Fox comes out, I believe the Rapture happens before that date. Whatever date that Star Fox is supposed to come out, the Rapture happens the day before.
No, because then people can
Man.
review copies.
If we ever get around to it, I have some great pitches for a Star Fox game.
There you're gonna say great pitches for Rapture predictions.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
For Star Fox games. I'd like to hear that sometime.
Yeah, I think I've briefly mentioned it to you before, but yeah, yeah. So pretty likely to happen. Splatoon 4, or probably not.
I don't think we see it.
Yeah,
at
you
this
didn't.
show.
What do you think, Matthew?
Let's see. Maybe not, because I don't know if they want to split their initial stuff between whatever their Mario Kart. If Mario Kart's coming out in that, they might not want to have
Yeah.
two big multiplayer games.
I mean, it could be like a highlight reel. That's kind of
Oh yeah, like it appears in it.
yeah.
Oh
or
yeah,
like in a
that probably
commercial
more
because they
a
did
lot-
that with
that's
Switch
pretty likely. Yeah.
1. All right, and then my last one, new 3D Mario. Similar to
No
Odyssey.
chance. I'm just kidding. Probably. They're probably gonna. I bet they're gonna show him like running somewhere. That's like a teaser for the game, but like they're not gonna say it's a teaser.
Yeah.
It's just gonna show him like getting on the bus or something. He's gonna get on the bus and it's gonna have
Getting
a
on
new
the
city
bus.
name instead of saying New Donk City.
Mario goes to his 9 to 5
Oh, so you
job.
think this is Odyssey too,
New
Matthew?
Donk City 2. Newer Donk City. Old Donk City.
It's finally time that Mario stopped being a plumber.
Yeah. Wait. He now works at a tax broker. Wait, insurance broker, sorry.
He's now helping Yoshi with his taxes.
Yeah, Yoshi repeated.
His tax fraud.
Tax fraud. Okay.
There could be a new Yoshi game.
Any others? Any others there?
I feel like maybe I get something.
Nah, that's it.
I feel like, you know what? I bet we'll see the little Kirby somewhere. I bet he'll make an
Alright,
appearance.
So, all right. So final things, and these are just questions to answer. Do you guys think that there will actually be a dedicated games portion of the direct where they are showing upcoming games? Because
tough
I
to
know a
say.
lot of our predictions kind of go off of that.
Probably not.
And
Yeah.
for the sake of predictions, we're assuming it does. But do you think that we actually get a dedicated games portion?
I think they'll
of this
just like
direct?
mention it, or like they'll show it running.
The realist, yeah.
Most
The
likely is like a
realist in
reel
me
of
is
stuff.
like, yeah, the realist in me is saying that it's probably just gonna be like one or two, and it's just gonna be to show off
Mhm.
features. As much as I don't want it to be that.
Yeah. I think the only thing that we need to know is what is the launch slate for this, especially if this is coming out in summer.
Yeah.
And then I think
That was something Matthew and I were
post-
talking about. Is there might be another direct for this before it comes out?
Depending on when they do it.
I don't think
Hard,
so on
hard
that.
to say.
Yeah. I don't see it happening because of how imminent I think this is. Because I do think that this
Yeah.
is June. I think that the rumors are correct. I think that this is
For the
happening
first
in
time
June.
ever.
But even if it happened in July, even August, I don't see them doing another direct before then. I
That
do
means they
see a
gotta have a game
September.
there.
I see a September direct happening, or something
Yeah.
that follows the Switch fairly closely. That does give you an idea of cool. Here's the rest of the year and a sneak peek at 2026. Outside of course, Tamagotchi Life and Rhythm Heaven. But yeah, I think we're basically getting to see the launch slate. Like, here's everything that's happening in the first 60 days of the Switch, and I think we don't see anything
They'll show us
else.
Metroid Prime 4 and then like the filler games, like the ones that you buy just because it's out and there's nothing else to buy.
Yeah, the third party games.
My
Your
prediction: there's going to be
Skyrims
some
/
buzz
Elden
games
Rings.
out there, and everybody's going to be mad.
Alrighty, well,
All right.
as we move on ahead here, at this Thursday Direct, Thursday Direct, outside of the games, we also got some weird Nintendo news. Digital cartridges
Yeah.
is
that's pretty weird.
interesting. So the best that I can explain this, and honestly, I think I can do a better job of explaining it than they did, because that was an awful presentation. That was so bad. That is
Yeah.
2 thumbs way down.
It was too confusing.
That was
That's true.
they I why no. So
No.
why is it so difficult to say that you just have basically a buddy pass for your games, or so here's what's
Yeah.
actually happening with it. Your games are now your digital games are now being referred to as digital cartridges. You can have a secondary Switch that you can send them to at any time, and you can switch them back and forth. So you take it out of one and you play it on another. They're not playable on 2 systems at the same time.
Yep.
And then in addition to that, people who are included as part of your Switch family, so not like, people on the same Nintendo membership, because that only is up to 5, but people in your Switch family, which they are saying counts up to 8 people, that you can locally transfer your game over to them, and they basically get it for 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, you don't get it. It stays with them unless they send it back over. And at the 2-week period, it automatically sends it back to you. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Other systems already do this in a lesser way. I think this is a very cool version of it. Because this
Yeah,
is something we've talked
it's
about for a
unique.
long time. That is a downfall or pitfall rather of an all digital future, which a lot of people are predicting to be happening at the in the next basically
Next console generation.
some people are some people are saying that the Xbox is kind of confirmed that they'll continue physical for at least this next generation, but I mean it is dying out. We are seeing it, more than 2/3 of games now be digital, or digital sales.
Yep.
So, and Nintendo is one of the only ones who buck that trend. So, anyways, I think that this is really cool. I think this is nothing but good news. I think they just presented it in the worst possible way.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot better job saying what it actually was.
Yep. Now, I know that for Nintendo, I don't have a ton of digital games, but like it'd be cool to be like, "Hey, Matthew, you want to try out Katana Zero?
Oh,
Just bump the switches
I don't know
together,
what that is.
and cool. Now you've got it for 2 weeks." I think that's pretty cool.
send me
That
snipper
will
clips.
encourage me to. I have Snipper Clips as a hard copy, and I can do just
Maybe you
come
can
borrow that
download on your
sometime.
computer and send it to me.
No, I'm not able to do that.
Oh.
I'm not able to do that. I'm sure
But
somebody
now
else
that you
could.
have digital
allegedly.
cartridges, you can now send your games to your friends.
Basically,
Yep.
and it sends it over because how many
And
times
if
have
you
you lent
disconnect,
out a
you're
game
s-
and not
You have
gotten
to be
it
connected
back
to the internet to do it,
in
or
like
can you just download
years?
it?
Good question. You have to be for your so for choosing your Switch, like for going between your two Switches, you have to be online for the trade-off to happen, but also like to do your initial linking of the two. Once you've linked your two
Yeah.
Switches, you don't have to relink them again. It's just
So
that
can I
first
just
time.
go on
But
airplane
you do
mode
need
and
to
not
be
lose my game?
They probably have. It's probably similar to Switch Online, where it's got like a brief period where you can do that, and then it'll block access.
yeah,
Wow.
That's my guess.
Haters.
that's a good point. I think that's exactly right. I think it'll be exactly the way that they do the
Maybe
Switch
they don't know
Online
about
stuff.
airplane mode yet.
Um,
They just found
It's
out
their
about
console.
They just found out about dial-up internet, man. They're pretty behind.
Oh my word!
and then in other weird Nintendo news, how are we feeling about the weird Nintendo app
It's gonna
that
die.
was dropped on the
It'll be another thing they put out,
27th?
and nobody's gonna use it, and then it's gonna get taken off.
Yeah, so
They could have just
I
done
wouldn't
this with
know. I don't have a
Mitomo.
phone
Bring
that can run
Mitomo
it.
back. What's that what it's called?
let me kind of. I know that people aren't going to be able to see very well here. Maybe Matthew will take a screenshot of what his looks like on his Android. But you can kind of see I have this little widget on my phone here. I could just do the app, but I have a little widget there that shows me, the date and stuff. Oh, and you can theme it based off of Zelda, off of Mario, off of Animal Crossing, and I want to say Splatoon is the other one. You can
Probably.
theme it off of those, and it just tells you it just gives you updates on what's going on. You get your key art for the day plus the date, and then right now they're counting down to the next. Yeah, this is not going to work. There you go. I just have to angle it really crazy. They're counting down the days to the next Nintendo Direct. They've got
Yep.
a guide to World 1 of Super Mario Bros. And it's just a short little thing. If I click on it, you can see here it pops open this little article. It's
Pikmin
only ever a
comic.
few paragraphs, but it gives you a couple hints about how to get through the first world. I don't even think I got a Pikmin.
That's because you're not a Pikmin
Thing
fan like
today.
me. I bet you didn't even play a Pikmin Flower mobile game.
I did not play that. No, you're correct.
It never. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It's,
But
well,
they've
no, they're
done
gonna
some
take us down.
interesting
They're gonna
things.
take us down.
They've
Oh, I
shown
should've showed 'em.
they've shown some concept art through there. I know the first or second day that it was out, I downloaded it, and they had a thing giving you kind of like almost like a serialization of the Metroid story so far, and they're like, hey, here's issue 1 of it. We'll come back with part 2 soon. Just kind of giving you like the background of, hey, this is Samus Aran. Here's what was going on with the Space Federation, and you're giving you some details on that. And cool, we'll see you next time. Which
Yeah.
I think is a very cool use of that. I hope that they keep up on things like that. I feel like what this is actually going to just turn into is exactly what their Facebook and Twitter pages are already doing. I think they're
Mm.
just recognizing that the
Maybe.
social media space right now is so volatile, not just in terms of content that's on there, but also in
Just in
how it
general.
is getting your information into the hands of the people who follow you because of all the ads and all the other bizarre stuff that's happening out there right now. I think this is just the way that they can better control the phone. And they could be like, great, we'll just push the notifications to you directly, cut out the middleman. Will this work out for them? I doubt it, but I think the idea
Probably.
is I think some of the ideas that they have are really cool. I just don't think this thing actually goes anywhere. But what say you guys?
Yeah, it's hard to say. If they added some more features into it, I could see it maybe working out. But how it is right now, it's maybe just not enough. I mean, I like what they have there so far. It sounds cool, but I don't know how many people would actually be into all this.
I wish they would make their switches more with this stuff. Then like you could use it more like do some more stuff. Like have it like on there already. You could just like open it. Boop, all right, let's see what's on the news or whatever. Because I feel like this.
Well,
is
they
just
have
gonna,
a news. They have a news feed thing on the Switch.
I feel like this is just it's gonna die so quick.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what is this? What purpose does this serve?
Yeah, it needs more features.
Yeah. I think that the serialization of things is the way to go. I think having cool stories or like mini comics, because they've had that as well. They've had like little like 8-panel comics and things like that. So I hope that they continue giving stuff like that. I want real content out of this. It would
Yeah.
be so cool to get like Nintendo comics, or the way that this really should be used is this should be the new version of Nintendo Power. In my opinion,
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
awesome.
think
Yeah.
I think that's the way that this should go. Is you
Yeah, 'cause
actually
they could
have
do like
articles and
behind the
stuff like
scenes
that.
and interviews and all
I
that.
would absolutely love that. I feel like this actually caters to their younger audience and trying to keep them in the know. And by I say younger, I don't even mean like the really kiddies. I just mean like I think that this has a real hello fellow youngsters vibe to it. Um, where they're like, oh yeah, your
totally
12,
does.
13-year-old should not be online, but they they're old enough to get updates and stuff like that and ask their parents for what they want, things like that. This is how we keep them engaged. But it's tough to say. It's tough to say. But
You can go back in the news section and watch direct stuff like like trailers and whatnot.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
really what they've been doing, and that's why I feel like this is just a cutting out the middleman of social media, because this is literally just what they already post day to day. It feels like.
Yeah. It's true.
But anyways, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct this Wednesday is going to be big. But I'm ready for something a little more miniature with our mini games. And today, it's another edition of 21 Questions. Because when I got a fact or fiction together, I did not fact check the fact or fiction. And when I went to do it,
If he had the Nintendo
It was
News
not
app,
great.
he could have
Mistake.
fact checked everything. Download the Nintendo News app now. I think it's called like Nintendo Yes or something. What's it called? Nintendo Today. Download that and you can make sure you got all your facts right here. So when your friend says something, you can fact check them live in HD.
You got it. Now, in 21 questions, the rules are simple. In this game, our gamers will have 21 yes or no questions to come to the title of a predetermined video game. A title may only be guessed once. So if after 10 questions you incorrectly guess Paperboy, the game is over, and one will be added to the L column. And I will say, no L so
That's
far.
what it is right there.
No
That's
L
the
so
one.
far. We've gotten them all. Now, remember, this is a team sport, so feel free to work together. And no, you cannot ask about the title, only the game. Now, you can ask a question along the lines of, is this a numbered sequel? Or something like that, but you can't ask about the title directly. Now, I'm not giving you the option today, but I've got a good one for you guys.
Boo.
Rigged.
Yeah.
So, you guys can decide amongst yourselves, but we can
Oh.
let the questions begin.
All right.
All right. Should we
Oh,
just
F.
go with the regular question?
Yep. I feel like it's the best one to ask.
Actually,
Unless there's a better one.
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, pal.
Go for it. Oh,
I'll
okay.
let you do the honors.
All right. Was this game made before 2010?
Did this? Were you asking if this game released before 2010?
Yes.
Okay, no.
All right.
Oh, newer game.
Anthem.
All right.
That's Anthem is in the book still.
Maybe like 2015, 2020-ish, if you're going for another date.
What'd be better, narrowing down if it came out before 2015 or before 2020?
I would probably say 20
All right.
myself.
This game come out before 2020.
Yes.
All right, so we're looking at
Okay.
10 to 19.
It's 10-year gap. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I could ask like if this was on Nintendo consoles, like exclusively.
Maybe, or we could ask if
this
it's.
is. Sorry, were you asking?
I was saying, wait.
I was just talking with Matthew about
We
it
could ask
first,
that,
sorry.
or we could ask like if it came out like in a certain generation of consoles or something. But that might be too limiting. Wait, when did the new ones come out? 2020 or 2019?
Are you talking about like PS5? That's
Yeah.
like 2020-ish.
Okay.
So
So
if you're talking like Switch, that was 2017.
I guess go ahead.
Okay.
We'll figure it out together.
Yeah. Did this release exclusively on Nintendo console?
This did not release exclusively to a Nintendo console.
They released
all right,
non-exclusively
so-
on it. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Was this game
You
released?
could ask if it released
I'll-
exclusively on like a PlayStation or Xbox. That could be your next one.
But it might
Just
not.
narrowing it down, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be multi-platform release. That's possible.
Was this game a console exclusive to a specific console?
No, it was not.
Okay.
All right, there you
It could be Anthem still.
go. Yes, it could be Anthem.
All right.
Hmm.
Now this is the hard part. I can never remember how we do.
We could do genre. We could. Another thing that I thought of the other day was we could do like ESRB rating. So that could narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, is that better than just doing a genre? I feel like we need to narrow down the year first. Because we're still at a 10-year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could ask like 2015. You want me to ask that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it release before 2015?
That's the question you're asking. Oh, it froze up there.
Oh,
If he had
I asked, did it release before 2015?
Okay. Yes. Yes, it did. That's 5.
looking at 10 to 14,
Yeah.
which means
Which
Battlefront
means,
on there.
yeah, that was like Wii U, PS4, Xbox One.
Because I think
PC.
2014 is when the PS5 came out, or PS4 came out, right?
Yeah,
2014.
2013,
Oh,
2014.
Okay. Really, that came out in 2013, huh? Wow.
I think so.
Time flies, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, what should you ask next?
That wasn't. It might be easier. Was this game a first-person shooter?
No.
Yeah, just do genres next.
Yeah. 'Cause I feel like we have 4 years is pretty small.
Is this game a JRPG?
No.
Okay.
How many questions are we at?
That's like
Or
7.
sorry, 7.
7, huh?
Mhm.
Not an RPG. Or it's not JRPG. Was this game? Would you consider this game AAA?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, this would be it just everybody would consider this a AAA game.
Okay, so we're looking at something,
AAA, not a shooter.
but it could be an RPG.
Yeah, I did just
So stuff like
ask
Assassin's
JRPG,
Creed
so
could
it
still
could
be
be
in
like an
there.
action RPG.
Stuff like what's that thing? Naughty
You
Dog
could start
made?
asking about developers.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
would
true.
start narrowing it down too.
Oh no, it couldn't be that. Was this
You
game
want me to
made?
ask, like,
I think Ubisoft might be a good one because they put out a lot of games.
yeah,
Was this game
should I
made
ask that?
by Ubisoft?
Yeah.
No.
go for it.
Okay, not Ubisoft, and it's not an exclusive. Not a shooter. It could be a sports game.
Is this game made by EA?
No, that's 10.
All right. That's two big developers right there gone though, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Trying to think
I
of big
think
developers.
try
'cause
asking if it's ask if it's an action RPG.
this game
Yeah, that's a pretty big
an
genre.
action RPG. Because I'm thinking right now is like Witcher or something.
Um,
You had to think about it.
I'm gonna need you to define.
Oh,
So a game where you're like
Actually- well,
a game where you're like
actually-
this.
Well, let's put it this way. Can you give an example of an action RPG?
Dark Souls.
No, this is not an action RPG.
I mean, action RPG is very broad.
Maybe we can ask a better
Yeah.
question.
I would still say no. No, this is not.
Okay.
You would not use action
Devil May
RPG to
Cry.
define this game.
Okay.
Okay. So the big one I'm
Is
thinking.
it a platformer? Oh, sorry.
Well, was there any AAA platformers?
Oh, that's a good point. But well, Sonic
Oh yeah, that's true.
or Mario. Although that would be Nintendo exclusive. But
Yeah.
I already asked it. You might as well just.
Yeah.
I'll play fair.
Sure. No, this is not a platformer.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking Witcher, just because
My bad, I should've waited.
that's like the big game that came out during that time. That wasn't from one of them big studios. Because anything Microsoft at the time would have been exclusive to.
I would definitely consider The Witcher an action RPG.
What are your years
It's like
again?
the most.
10 to 14 is what we're at. right now.
Uh,
But that could also be. Oh no, it's not by EA.
wait, 10 to 15. Yeah.
No, because we asked if it came out before 2015, and he said yes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We did ask that. Yeah.
So BioWare
Um,
was by EA, so no Mass Effect or Dragon Age.
Yeah, it wouldn't be BioWare.
It's some kind of RPG because they asked for clarity.
Yeah, and it's not a Dark Souls game.
Yeah, and don't read too much into it.
I'm reading too much into it.
I think he was trying to figure out if it could fit into RPG, not that
Okay.
it was necessarily like, yeah. There's a lot of games that could fit into that.
That's what we can add. Was this game made by CD Projekt Red by chance?
No.
Okay, so that's no Witcher 2. No. Witcher
Hindsight
3.
is 2020,
Um,
but Witcher 3 came out in 2016.
Did it? I thought that was like 2014. Wow. I don't know my years, man.
I wasn't fully sure. Yeah, so I didn't question it.
Wow, that's too bad. Well, then again, didn't we think Bioshock Infinite came out in like 2010 or something like that? Like 2011. I can't remember. We had some off here.
Actually, you're not allowed to look up stuff, but I'm allowed to. Let's see here.
That was really 2016. No way. That had 2015 at the latest.
Yeah, it was like
You're
I
correct,
was thinking it was
2015.
2015. Yeah,
Yes,
okay, that's what I
2015.
thought.
So let's see. So Sega is a AAA developer at the time. Who else was? I like if maybe I need to narrow down the.
Oh, I had a weird thought.
Yeah.
What if it's a Yakuza game? Because those are kind of RPG esque.
What are those AAA?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a Monster Hunter
Uh,
that came out that year?
That one is definitely an RPG.
Okay.
I don't think you could deny that. It's definitely an RPG.
Man.
Yeah, it's tough. And it's multi-platform too. It has to be a big one.
And it's a AAA game.
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
I wonder if he might maybe struggled to like determine if it was like
Batman or something.
no, I was thinking like immersive sim. Because some people think that immersive sims are RPGs. Like certain ones.
What's an immersive sim?
Like Deus Ex and
Oh.
Dishonored and yeah. Right.
Yeah, those are RPG. I don't know if I'd call those
think
action
that I would
RPGs
consider
though.
all of them.
This
I-
game is not an action RPG.
I guess we could just ask if it's
We said that earlier.
if it's. Should we just ask if it's an RPG
I
at
want.
all?
I almost want to ask. I actually want to ask if it's an immersive sim now.
Okay.
Is it okay if I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it an immersive sim?
It is not.
Oh, dang. I was like, I thought maybe. 'Cause I've heard people say that before. Oh, man.
And we're at
Shoot.
what, like 14 questions or 15?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Which one?
Dang.
14.
We need to
There
figure
are
out.
14
We need to figure out.
questions.
We need to figure out a way to like get this down.
At the time, I would consider, I think like Arkham City and Arkham Origins were probably AAA at the time. Definitely Origins. They had big money behind those.
You could ask if it's a Batman game. That'd be fine.
That might be too. I feel like we need to get the genre
It might be too narrow, but I mean, at this point,
because it's a
We're-
trip.
we're
What other
running low.
AAA developers are there? Sega, Capcom.
yeah, that's Sega, Capcom, Bandai Namco.
Wow.
Nintendo.
Okay. All right. Hold up. So let's think here.
Uh,
All right. So we know it's not. At this point, we know it's probably not an RPG. At this
Yeah.
point,
probably not.
we know it's not exclusive to any console. It's AAA, but it. I was thinking back on it. I wish we would have asked just if it was RPG in general.
Yeah, that's too broad.
Yeah.
That would have been tough. I mean, even
Was this
action
game
RPG
made
is
by a
pretty broad.
Japanese developer?
No.
Okay,
That's
that
15.
takes out quite a lot actually.
That does take out a lot. Yeah, that was a good question.
So that still leaves like Rocksteady. It could be
Yeah.
with the Mordor game. I think Shadow of Mordor might have come out in 2014.
That's an RPG.
Is it? What counts as
Or
RPG
maybe-
these days?
I would say that's an action RPG myself.
I never know.
Maybe
these
a
days.
stretch.
They need a genre definition.
I think we could narrow it down with like asking if there's gunplay of any sort.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
go
like-
ahead.
Because then, like, he already said it's not a first-person shooter,
Yeah.
but we didn't ask if there was like any form of like using guns.
Is there gunplay? Not to be confused with gunplay.
Can you shoot a
If
gun
you
in the game?
Can
do
your character
some
shoot
kind
people?
of shooting, it is not the point of the game.
Okay.
If you do some kind of shooting, it's not the point of the combat.
Okay.
But it's in there.
I don't know.
Man.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I know that it's definitely not a core mechanic of the game, but I don't know if
Okay.
at some point you shoot something that resembles a gun.
That leaves out Portal.
You're not
2.
shooting bullets if that's what you're asking. You're not
Oh.
like coming in with an AR or something like that.
Because Portal 2 would be. I mean, that's a gun.
So it could still be Batman
Yeah.
because there is a gun in that
do you want
game,
me to just ask
kind
if it's-
of, that's like electric.
Let me ask if it's published by WB, or I think it's your turn. Because that, if
Yeah, I
if
could
it,
ask.
yeah, that's because that might give us a little more room, just in case it's not.
Is it published by WB?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So if
All
it's
right.
Batman, from I think Arkham Asylum came out in like
3
2008, I think, or something like that, or 2009. City was like 2011. 'Cause I remember it was in the game of the year with Skyrim, I think, and then Origin. I think Arkham Knight was 2015.
Yeah, I think Night was after the time.
What are we
period
at?
We have set.
You
Probably
are
like
at
16 or
17
17.
questions. So you have 4 questions, but one of them has to be your guess. So we'll say 3 questions and a
Because
guess.
I'll be honest, if it's not Batman, I don't know what it could be.
I mean, to narrow it down. So are you sure that Arkham Asylum came out for 2010?
Yeah, I believe it was like 2008, 2009. We can ask though. I know how to ask it.
Just ask. Oh, I know what I do.
Okay, go ahead.
You could ask if Hugo Strange was one of the main villains of the game.
Would he know that better or Joker better?
That would narrow it. It's like the one thing that would set it apart from Origins and Asylum if it's City.
I don't know
which
if he
that's
would
what
know
I'm
that
leaning
though.
on.
Are you allowed to look that up?
I mean, he can look it up though. We can't.
Oh, wait. I was trying to think of a funny way to ask if it was Arkham City without saying it. Well, I was trying to get him to say the title without asking.
I thought of asking if it took place in a city, but then I
think
realized that
Origins does, too.
Origins takes place in a city. Yeah.
Okay. Is this? I know how to ask it. Is this game a sequel?
Okay.
Not
well,
so.
like,
Chronos. I mean, like in the
Origins is a
timeline of the
sequel,
game,
though,
it's a
too.
prequel. It's a prequel. It's a prequel.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
So is it in the line of like the story? Is it a sequel?
in
I say that's
in the
pretty
line of a story.
straightforward
So
question, yeah.
okay,
'Cause what I was
so
thinking
so
is
are
if the-
are you asking if this game chronologically takes place after another game?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's
in that phrasing, it is a yes.
so that's Arkham City. That could technically be Arkham Asylum but I'm fairly certain that game came out before 2010.
No, Arkham Asylum's the very first one.
Yeah, but that would have been the follow up to Origin, I think. I don't know. Do you want to ask if it's?
I mean, it wasn't originally made as a sequel though.
But that helps us out because oh yeah. I just want to ask it. Just want to ask if it's.
At this point, I mean, we're so close.
Yeah.
So you could ask two more questions.
Do you just want to
and
ask if it's
still
Batman?
guess if you wanted
just to like. Because I'm part of me
I
thinking.
mean, I could.
Because that takes out Origin.
Trying to think of a question that he would know that would narrow it down to that
Well,
game.
if I'm not able to answer the question, you would get a freebie. It wouldn't count against you.
Okay.
Okay. Is Hugo Strange a villain in that game?
Yes.
Okay.
There we go. It's Arkham City.
Yes, this is Batman Arkham City.
Tell me
what your
Nicely
Arkham
done,
Asylum came
guys. Yes, so this is
I think Arkham Asylum.
Arkham
is
Asylum
maybe-
came out in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I
then
thought.
Batman Arkham City came out in 2011 and tied Skyrim for highest Metacritic score of the year. And
It's a great game.
characters
Better
marking
game than
their
Skyrim too.
debut in the series included the likes
It is,
of
yeah.
Hugo Strange and Two-Face and the Penguin, amongst a couple others. I believe Catwoman also made her debut
I was
in
on
this one.
Yeah,
So
you can
what I
play
was
as
going to
her.
ask, I was going to ask if it was Joker just because I didn't know if it was because I know he's not an Origin, but he was also an Asylum, so that would help with that. But yeah,
Joker
I
is
don't
an
know.
Origin.
Oh, he is.
Yep.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
I do not remember
Spoilers, I guess. But
that.
yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Oh.
he eats the muffin or whatever you say in the second one. So
Also, Arkham City, one of the most stacked voice acting casts of any video game.
Right.
Because you
Yeah.
have
It's a great game.
you have Troy Baker, who voices
Lots of people.
yeah, he voices Robin and Two-Face. You have Nolan North as the Penguin. You have Tara
Cable.
Strong as Harley Quinn. And this was her first time playing Harley Quinn. Somebody else played her before. I couldn't tell you who.
Oh yeah. I think I remember that.
And you have of course Kevin Conroy as Batman and
Yeah.
the
Best
iconic
Batman.
Mark Hamill as Joker.
Great
And a whole slew of other people. This game was stacked in a lot of ways, but my favorite
Yeah.
of all the Batman games, really, but
that game needs
especially the
like a
Arkham
good
games.
That game is
remake.
great.
But like
Yeah, imagine doing a
It still plays really
Metroidvania
well.
in an open world city.
Yeah.
Crazy that they pulled that off, and they pulled it off in 2011.
But
But that's gonna do it for today's. Nicely done, guys. Yeah, give it up for Rocksteady. 2011 Rocksteady. Nicely done, everyone. And of course, remember that you can be a part of what we do here by liking and subscribing and You can comment answering our question of the week for a chance to get a shout out to begin our next episode. This week, we are asking you, what is your bold Nintendo Switch 2 Direct prediction? That's going to do it for this week. I, again, am Super Nolan Man, joined by the Hyrule King and that boy, Matthew Hot Dog Eater. Someday I'll get that right. And you can have a great week.